We live our lives looking for the most important things that we can do, the things with the highest leverage. See, I'll tell you one thing: whether you're an athlete, whether you're a business executive, whether you're a preacher, in whatever line of work that you're doing, there is one thing that is more important than anything, and this thing is mental. The most important thing that you need to have is conviction. Conviction is the quality of showing that you are firmly convinced in whatever you're doing. You have faith that the action that you're going to take is going to produce the outcome that you want. You're probably thinking, oh, why would I need conviction? I can still take the correct action and end up in the correct place. But see, conviction acts as an amplifier for all our actions. The perfect analogy for this is, let's say you're a striker, you're playing football, you're one on one with a goalkeeper and you're shooting. The first striker, they lack conviction, but they place the ball perfectly. Like, they couldn't get the ball more in the corner where they shot, but they didn't shoot with conviction. They doubted themselves as they shot the shot. The ball still went where they wanted it to go, but because they shot with no conviction, the ball barely got there. It got there with less speed, and the keeper was able to save it. Striker number two, who he has full conviction in what he was doing. His shot wasn't as perfect as the other player. It wasn't as in the corner as the other player. It wasn't the top bins. It was literally like just to the keeper's side. But he shot it with so much conviction that he produced so much power that even though his shot wasn't perfect, he got past the keeper. See, a life in a lot of ways is like that. We are always looking for the perfect action. We are always looking for the thing that we can do that is way better than other people. A lot of the time, what we can do that is way better than the people around us is have conviction. Because we live in a society where no one is sure of themselves. If I asked you, how many people in your life do you know that are sure of yourselves? I can nearly guarantee that you wouldn't be able to count five people. You wouldn't even use one hand. Maybe you count three people. Maybe if you're lucky, if you have a good circle, you count five people close to you that are sure of themselves. But people lack conviction in the things they do. They lack conviction in the decisions they make. They lack conviction in the things they decide to do. They lack conviction when they do their daily tasks. People are going through the motions, and even when they're going through the motions, they're not giving their all. See, conviction is going to set you apart from everyone because conviction, like I said, is an amplifier for your decisions. See, sometimes you can make a bad decision with conviction and it doesn't turn out as bad as it would have because of your conviction. Sometimes, let's say, back to that football analogy, let's say you shoot from 35 yards, like you have no business shooting there. You could have passed to the person there and then he's shooting from 18 yards. But you shot it with so much conviction, so much power that the ball went in. We even see this when it comes to business. You can have two salesmen. You can have one salesman who has a perfect pitch, scientifically backed, has been researched by psychologists, and they say that if you say these exact words, you're going to get the sale. Right? That salesman can go through the process, say those exact words, but he has no conviction behind it. He doesn't truly believe in what he's selling, and most of the time, he doesn't truly believe in himself. See, that salesman who could have had the perfect psychological, perfect scientific sales script would still fail because as human beings, we value conviction. We value someone who's confident. That's why you would much rather buy from someone who's confident in what they're selling you because you trust conviction. Like, why would I buy from someone who doesn't have conviction in the product he's selling? And on the other hand, you can have a salesman where his pitch is literally like, this is the best product. It's going to solve your problem. But he says it with so much conviction oozing from his soul that you can't help but just believe him. You're like, okay, you know what, fair enough, fair enough. Because one thing about energy is contagious. So if someone with conviction is selling to you, that energy of conviction, that vibe of conviction is contagious. So you will then gain that conviction, but it will be conviction that, you know, this is the right thing to do, this is the right product to buy. And a lot of the times we see it when it comes to motivational speakers. Motivational speakers, for the most part, they all say the same things, but there are some of them that speak with so much conviction that you truly believe what they're saying. You truly believe that if I wake up at 5 a.m., I'm going to fix my life because they have full conviction and you decide to follow them. See, the people you've decided to follow in your life, a lot of the time, are the people with the most conviction. They aren't the most intelligent, they aren't the most thoughtful, they aren't the most, I don't know, intellectual. A lot of the times, they have the most conviction. I touched on this earlier, but I want to expand on this now. You need to understand that human beings, we have survived this long because we've been designed to look for red flags. We have been designed to look for errors in people, for inconsistencies. So when you lack conviction, let's say you're selling something, let's say you're pitching your product, you're on a sales call. When you lack conviction, that's an inconsistency because you are claiming that your product will solve the client's problem. But underneath, there's this undertone of not even believing that it's going to do that. So immediately, the human subconscious mind is going to be like, what's going on with this person? And sometimes you don't even recognize it. You can't even consciously put your finger on it. But you decide that, you know what? I'm fine. I'm not going to buy from this person. I might even just buy the more expensive one. But more importantly, rather than having conviction in products, having conviction in the service you're selling, you need to have conviction in yourself. Because conviction, when you look at where it's come from, it's very closely related to faith. When you have full faith in something, you don't hold yourself back. You act as if the outcome that you intend to get is already a reality. You act as if I shoot this, I'm going to score. Not, there's a possibility of scoring. You will act as if I already have the client. And all I'm doing is I'm getting him to the point where he's my client. But you have full conviction, you have full belief in what you are doing. And when you have full belief in what you're doing, that's when you're going to put your all in it. And one of the most interesting things that I think about a lot of the time is with most religions on earth, one of the key pillars to all of them is faith. The act of believing in something with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Because belief does something. Belief, faith, it transforms what we're able to do. See, in the Bible, it says that if you have faith, you can tell this mountain move and it'll move. And a lot of time, people say like, oh, it's a metaphor, like the mountains represent the problems in your life, right? There were stories in the Bible where people were healed, people came from the dead. Why? Because of faith. Stories where there was a woman who was bleeding for all her days. And she was just like, if I touch Jesus' garment, I'll be healed. She had full faith. She wasn't like, maybe I'll be healed. She fully believed that if she touched that, she would be healed. And when she touched it, she was healed. And Jesus said, it is your faith that healed you. See, faith is the most important thing we can have. Faith in God, faith in ourselves, faith, a full belief, not even a belief, a knowing that you know what, things are going to work out. And when you have faith, you don't sell yourself short, you don't procrastinate. Have you ever procrastinated something that you knew? Imagine if I told you, like, this business is going to get to 10K. You're probably not going to procrastinate as much as you are because you know. So why would you shoot yourself in the foot when you know something is going to work? See, one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Mark 9, verse 23, where the disciples asked Jesus a question. And then Jesus replied, saying, if you can, said Jesus, all things are possible to one who believes. Not some things, not only things in this physical plane, but all things are possible to one who believes. And a lot of the time, I wonder what we can actually do if we truly believed. What could you do if you truly believed? If you truly held that conviction that, you know what, I've got it. I have more than I need and I can achieve all of this. Oh, yeah, by the way, I've set up this community where I just plug free resources to improve your mental health, to improve your mindset. And additionally, in there, you can find a link to apply for my coaching. So, in my coaching, I help high performers, athletes, business executives just achieve a mental reset, achieve their goals mental wise. See, for some people, this is fixing their mental health, getting out of a rut. For other people, it's to be calmer. For other people, they just want to have more vision in their life. So, I help high performers, high achievers, athletes do that. So if you're interested in that one-on-one service, there's a link in the description that will take you directly to a calendar to book a 15-minute discovery call where we can discuss how we're going to move forward. So at this point, you can recognize the importance of conviction, but you're thinking to yourself, how do I believe? How do I believe something that I don't yet believe? Have you ever heard the phrase, if you tell a lie enough times, you're going to believe it? That's the answer right there. If you tell yourself something enough times with enough consistency, you are going to believe it. If you tell yourself enough times that you believe in yourself, if you demonstrate to yourself that you can believe in yourself, and that's a completely different topic. With enough repetition, you will believe in yourself. But to touch on the point of me saying, if you demonstrate to yourself that you can believe in yourself, right? To gain conviction, you need to be someone worthy of conviction to yourself. And it doesn't mean you have to go out there and make $1 million. It just means that when you say, I'm going to wake up at 6, you wake up at 6. When you say you're going to do 2 hours of work, you do 2 hours of work. When you say you're going to go to the gym, you go to the gym. See, when you listen to yourself, When you continually do the things that you say you're going to do, you build self trust. And self trust is a prerequisite of conviction. And once you have the self trust, it will lead to conviction. And once you have the conviction, it will lead to the amplifying effect. See, you will no longer be doubting yourself. Like imagine a life where you didn't doubt yourself. You didn't doubt the business decisions. Not to say that you didn't scrutinize the things you're doing, but you didn't doubt yourself. You believed that things were going to work out. Imagine how much doubt has cost you, how much fear has cost you. Conviction is the name of the game. It's quite honestly the most important thing you can have mentally. Because those who win are those with conviction. Have you ever met a millionaire, billionaire with no conviction in what they're doing? With no conviction in themselves? Listen to the top athletes. Have you heard them speak? You can tell that they fully believe what they're saying. They have faith in themselves. They have conviction. So that's what you need to do. Develop that conviction and go at it. Don't take the approach of developing conviction. Oh, I want to have conviction in selling t shirts. Develop a belief in yourself. And that belief will transcend all areas of your life. It will seep into your gym, into your business, into your relationships. Conviction, belief in yourself is the most important thing. Believe me when I say it.